שעשו לי מקדש ושכנתי בתוכם ואנחנו נברך מעתה ועד עולם. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
As the week comes to an end, the sun sets on Friday, we turn our attention to Shabbat, to our day of rest, a chance to recharge, to step back from everything that took place during the week and reflect and prepare for the week to come. And this Shabbat, we are lucky to join together to pray and to study as we always do. And we are also very happy this week to celebrate together with Adam Serban and his family. And Adam is going to lead us tonight and is going to be called to the Torah tomorrow morning for his first Aliyah. So Adam, I think it's time for us to get started. Could you bring your family up to the bima? And we will start our time together with the bracha, the blessing over candle lighting. Invite everyone to please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Now we say Shabbat Shalom. Adam, you stay up here with us because Adam is going to lead us in Kabbalat Shabbat, the introductory prayers of the Friday night service. Let's turn in the Sidurim, in Sidur Lev Shalem, the smaller of the two books, to page 11. We begin with the words of Psalm 95. Let us go and sing to God. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, we greet God as we raise our voices in song. At the top of the page, Lechuner Anana.
Lechuner Anana, Lechuner Anana, Lechuner Anana, Ladonai. Lechuner Anana, Lechuner Anana, Lechuner Anana, Ladonai. Naria, Naria, Lesor Yishenu, Dikamapa na Vitzoda. Naria, Naria, Lesor Yishenu, Bizmirot Naria lo. Lechuner Anana, Lechuner Anana, Lechuner Anana, Ladonai. Lechuner Anana, Lechuner Anana, Lechuner Anana, Ladonai.
The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice, the sea and its fullness roar, the meadows and all that grows in them exult. Even the trees of the forest shall sing praise to God. We turn to page 14, in the middle of the page at the red arrow, Yismechu Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim,
Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim,
Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umlo. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umlo. ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ.
Turn to the bottom of page 20. Exalt our God and bow down at God's holy mountain. For Adonai, our God, is holy. At the bottom of the page, again at the red arrow, Romemu.
רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו.
We turn to page 23 for the song Lecha Dodi. We imagine Shabbat coming, joining us like a bride, like a kala enters the room on her wedding day. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Adam leads us in the first two verses of Lecha Dodi, and then when we reach the final verse, Boi v'shalom, the tradition at that point is to rise in our places and to face the door. Page 23, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmiyanu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad. L'shem tiferet u'litila la lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mikor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh machashavat hila la lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom eteret ba'ila, gam b'simcha uv'sachala, tov emunei am segula. Boi chala la lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela.
May be seated. Adam, big yasher koach for getting us started. Let's turn to page 27, the top of the page, a song for the day of Shabbat. It is good to thank you, O God, to sing your name, to proclaim your love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat.
Let's join together. Yai la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la. Ya la la ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר, להגיד בבוקר, בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור. יא אלי אלי אלי, 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 יא אלי אלי, יא אלי אלי אלי, יא אלי אלי, יא אלי אלי. צדיק התמר יפרח, כארז בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינבו בשיבה, דשנים ורעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, צורי ולא הפלתה בו.
Page 29.
Adonai malaki lavesh, lavesh Adonai oti tazar, tikon devel batimot. Mikolot mayim rabim, adirim mishpereyam, adir bamarom Adonai. Irotecha nemnu milvetcha nava kodesh, Adonai leorech yamim.
I'm going to invite everyone to rise, to stand up. Take a moment, look around, and wish Shabbat Shalom to someone you haven't seen yet, someone you haven't said hello to yet.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Clara Rose, can you join me over here? Into the blessing. And we come back together because each Shabbat we share words of bracha, words of blessing, the ancient priestly blessing, at home together with our children. Got one here tonight. But here in Temple Israel with everyone around us. So if you feel like putting your arm around the person next to you, we join together in the words of Birkat Kohanim Yevarechecha.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha, Kein yehi ratzon.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's Spirit shine upon you and may God be gracious to you. May God's Spirit turn upon you and grant you shalom, grant you peace. Ken yehi ratzon. May be seated. Turn to our prayer for healing as we think of the people in our lives, perhaps ourselves, in need of physical and spiritual well-being. Some of them are with us in the room, some of them are with us in our hearts. If you'd like to include someone in the prayer for healing, would like to share their name, I'm going to invite you to rise in your place and to share their names when I come to you. Bunny? Lenny? Ruth? That Kol HaCholim, and all those who are ill. Cantor Lissick leads us in the prayer for healing.
Mi sheberach imotenu Sara Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu yevarech et hacholim bizman kariv v'nomar amen mi sheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yakov, Hu yevarech et hacholim bizman kariv v'nomar amen. As you bless those who came before, spread your healing around us once more. May our strength and our souls be restored. V'nomar amen. Heal our hurts and heal our hearts. Show us the way and teach us to start. Help us, we're fragile, we are. V'nomar amen. Mi sheberach imotenu Sara Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu yevarech et hacholim bizman kariv v'nomar amen.
Turn to page 30 for the Mourner's Kaddish, and I invite those in mourning or marking a yortzeit to rise and join me in the words of the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divera kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lomei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudsha brichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May be seated. Good Shabbos, everyone. So while I'm walking down the stairs, if you could pull out the Chumash, take out the bigger book, and flip to page 99 for a moment. There you go. Make you study. So I just got back from a rabbinic retreat, meeting with rabbis of different denominations. And apart from the formal learning part of the program, the nice part about being with people who share your career, share your job, is that you get to joke about the funny situations that all rabbis have that just doesn't matter if you're in New York or California, it just happens, the same things happen to you, or you have the same types of encounters. And I was thinking about one particularly rabbinic encounter that happens often. It might take place in the Kiddush after services. So you might notice I make myself an easy target. I keep my talis on so people can see me and notice me. And I walk around, I move around during the Kiddush a lot and chat with people and schmooze with people. But what often happens to rabbis is you'll be in the middle of a conversation with somebody, and another person comes up and wants to talk to you. And inevitably, they do the same thing. They see that you're talking to someone, so they walk very close to you. And they stand right in your peripheral vision. And they just stand there, waiting for you to see them. Now, having seen this enough times, you know that the right thing to do is to finish the conversation that you're in before turning to a new conversation, or at least find some way to wrap up that conversation before turning to the new conversation and turning to that new person. But it's one of those funny situations where you see the person waiting and you know what they want. Just give me a minute. Wait a moment. And I was thinking about that. We were joking about that with the rabbis, but I was thinking about that. You look at the opening scene of the Torah portion that we read this morning, tomorrow morning, that is. Parshat Vayera, the continuing story of Abraham and Sarah. And the story opens with Abraham sitting at the opening of his tent, Petach HaOhel. And Abraham, as we know from tradition, models the value of Hachnasat Orchim, of welcoming guests. And the rabbis of the Talmud, who look at this opening of the Parsha, see something strange in the way that Abraham interacts with the people, something that's missing from the text. Because the Parsha opens, the Lord, that is God, appeared to Abraham by Elonei Mamre, the terebinths of Mamre, this place, and he was sitting at the entrance of the tent as the day grew hot. So God visits Abraham. God is talking to Abraham. But then, looking up, he sees 3 men standing near him or approaching. As soon as he sees them, he runs from the entrance of the tent to greet them and bows to the ground and says, "My lords, if it please you, do not go on past your servant." And this sets the stage. Abraham invites these 3 men in. Turns out they're angels. They bring him some good news. And the rest is the rest of the Parsha. But look closely at the text. Abraham is talking to God. It's in the middle of a conversation with God, and not everyone is lucky enough to have God visit them at the doorway of their homes. And then Abraham sees the guests, and what does Abraham do? Gets up and runs. So what's missing from the story? I hear mumbling. Someone say something louder. What's that? What happened to God? Abraham's in the middle of a conversation with God, and someone comes up, someone comes into his peripheral vision, and he turns and runs away from God. Is that the way you treat God? Generally not. That's not how we're supposed to imagine that. Again, should we all be so lucky to commune with God in that way? Well, the rabbis of the Talmud look at this section, and they use it to teach a value. And in the Gemara, in the Talmud, it says, Rav Yehuda teaches in the name of Rav, Gedolah hachnasat orchin mehakbalat pnei hashchina. Hospitality towards guests is greater than receiving the divine presence, than receiving the presence of God. And they use it to teach that an important value. Abraham and Sarah, as I said, model this value of welcoming in guests. For them, literally, they bring guests into their home. We practice hachnasat orchim in many ways. Some of us are good at inviting people into our home. Some of us, actually our bar mitzvah next week is going to talk about this, practice hachnasat orchim wherever we are, the ability to make people feel comfortable in a new space, whether it's a synagogue or someplace else that you are familiar with. You welcome new people in, make them feel that this is their space as well. And the Gemara, the Talmud, points out that in Abraham's story, this is even more important than talking to God, than greeting God, was welcoming the people who are standing right in front of you. And then the Kabbalists look at this and they point out something. They say that by greeting people, by welcoming people, you are in fact serving God. You're fulfilling what it is that you are supposed to do. That's a way of communing with God. So I generally advise you finish a conversation with your in. But Abraham, throughout his story, reminds us of this important value of looking around, looking for people who need to be welcomed in and saying, Shabbat Shalom, welcome, I'm glad you're here. Shabbat Shalom. Let's continue with Mariv, the evening service, page 39. Please rise for the Baruch Hu.
Yalla lie lie lie, yalla lie lie lie, yalla lie lie lie, yalla lie lie lie, yalla lie lie Yalalai, lai, lai. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam ba'ed. Le'olam ba'ed. Yalalai, lai, lai. 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 Yalalai, lai, lai.
May be seated. Blessed are you, Lord our God, creator of the universe, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from before the light.
Umavir yom umevi laila, umavtir ben yom uve laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid imachalenu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hamari v'aravi.
Amen. Page 40.
Ahavat olam mitzvah haftat Torah mitzvah. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגיומם בלילה, ואהבתך תשים ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Amen.
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם. בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Continue on page 42. ויאמר משה למדבר על בני ישראל, אמרת להם ועשו להם ציצית על כנפיהם.
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
כי אדוני אלוהינו. Then Moses, Miriam, and the people of Israel joyfully sang this song to you, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, page 44.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם, משה ומרים ובני ישראל, לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם. Let's join together. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך באלים, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך נהדר, נורא תהילות אוסיף אלה, אוסיף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסיף אלה, אוסיף אלה. אחדותך ראו בניך. בוקע הים לפני משה, זה אלי, זה אלי, זה אלי, ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך פעילים אדוני, פעילים. מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. ונאמר כיפת אדוני תעקבו, גילו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל.
Amen. Allow us, God, to sleep peacefully and awaken us again to life. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow, and remove the evil forces that surround us. Blessed are you who spreads a canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 45, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom. V'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim, l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha, shlomecha. Join me. Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. And then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. 'Cause when negativity surrounds, I know someday it will all turn around. Because all my life I've been praying for, I've been waiting for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day. Whoa, one day, one day, one day. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzitenu vo'enu l'chaim u'shalom me'ata v'ad olam, ufroseinu sukat shalomecha, baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Hu Shmo.
הפורס וכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Amen. Page 46, please rise.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
בעלמא תברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי,
בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב.
אמרו
אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולם יומיה יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה
תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמא. We spend the next few moments in silent prayer with the words of the Amidah, beginning on page 47.
When you've completed your Amidah, you may be seated. May the one who makes peace in the heavens makes peace in the heavens descend on us, and the world will say Amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Amen, amen. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu.
We continue on page 54 with Kaddish Shalem.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
אמן.
ויאמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיית רוב בית ישראל. בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו
אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם עולם ביומיה יתברך.
יפרח וישתבח ויפר ותרומם ויתנשא ויצער ויצלח ויצלח ברקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בימה ויאמרו אמן. תתקבל סולטנו ואלטון זוכייתו קדם אבוהן וישמעי ויאמרו אמן. יהי שם הרבה מן שמעי וחמלין והקויתו ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ויאמרו אמן.
Turn to page 55, and I'm going to call on Adam Serbin again. And this time, Adam, I'm going to ask you to bring your grandfather, your Zadie, Stephen Serbin, up with you for Kiddush. And while they're coming up, I also want to invite any kids who'd like to join me up here for Kiddush to come up. Adam, go to that side. And I love Judaica. Adam is using a particularly beautiful Kiddush cup, not our usual one. But Zadie, could you tell your grandson where this Kiddush cup is from? What makes this special?
Into this microphone. Rarely do I find a circumstance where people can't hear me, but I will talk into the microphone nevertheless. So, Adam, it is our honor and pleasure to give you this Kiddush cup. May you use it every Shabbat for 100 years and be an inspiration to your children, your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren. This Kiddush cup is a one-of-a-kind, handmade piece from Jerusalem, and the script, the strange script that you see around the silver that envelops the hand-blown glass is Paleo-Hebrew, which of course you know means ancient Hebrew, from 2,000 years ago, Yerushalayim. So may you for many, many, many years, say Kiddush with this Kiddush cup, and who knows, next year in Jerusalem, perhaps.
Amen. Thank you. Page 55, please rise as Adam leads us in the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafein.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah banu, v'shabbat kadsho v'achava uvratzon hinchil lanu, zikaron l'maaseh bereshit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol amim v'shabbat kadshecha be'achava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen. Yasha koach.
That's so beautiful. You can leave it here for now.
Continue, page 56 with Aleinu.
It's angled, so it's scaring me.
We're okay. You did awesome.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol latit gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kegoye haratot velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chalkenu kahem וגורלנו ככל המונם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכינו אפס ולטו בתורתו וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת עיניו. ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
You may be seated. Turn to page 58 for the Mourner's Kaddish. This week, we observe the yortzites of Cynthia Abrams, Etta Greenspan, Nancy Mizell, Annie Tilley, Francis Kaufman, Marilyn Swillinger, Samuel Flegel, Samuel Spill, Sanford Goldfarb, Solomon Jimmy Cohen, Abraham Rusko, Faye Cinco, Harry Katzen, Harry Tannenbaum, Joseph Friedman, Judy Schwartz, Leo Victor Fleischer, Maurice Swimmer, Sherman Hunger, Alan Schwartz, Beatrice Saltzman, Donald Tepper, Edward Putzrath, Howard Glazer, Meyer Mastbaum, Morris Roth, Ron Shore, Zissa Botlabe, Bertha Salem, Elsie Mann, Esther Wolfert, Jay Minuskin, Max Weissman, Stephen Saltzman, Paul Schwartz, Abraham Lusky, David Starrer, Edward Glazer, Susan Cerniak Spatz, Thea Hagen, Alex Zilber, David Riff, Frank Reynolds, Harold Bernard Gordon, Kirill Playuko, Maxine Bloom Koss, Rosa Grossman, Ruth Esta Gerstenfeld, Sam Kaplan, Saul Tannenbaum, Sheila Neller, and Malka Reutman. We also extend condolences to congregants in the midst of Shloshi in the 30 days following the death of a loved one, to Tammy Cohen and the passing of her mother, Rosemary Zolman. Page 58, I invite those in mourning or marking a yortzeit to rise and join me in the words of the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, v'yalma divera kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen, yehi shemei rabba mevorach le'olam u'lomeo maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'yalma v'yimru amen Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. You may be seated. Joseph Spill, can I call you to the bima to represent the Temple Israel Board of Trustees and share some words of greeting?
Shabbat Shalom. Hope everybody's had a great week. My name is Joseph Spill. I'm on the Board of Trustees with the Temple. Just so honored to be able to get up here. Adam, you did an awesome job tonight so far. I can't wait for tomorrow. We're so thankful to have your whole family here, and we're so thankful that you're having your bar mitzvah at Temple Israel, and just looking forward to tomorrow. And thank y'all, your family, so much for sponsoring the Kiddush tomorrow as well. Thank y'all so much. Rabbi, great sermon tonight. That's definitely a top one. The lingering effect. The Cranberries song "Linger" is going to be in my head from now on whenever I'm around you. And Cantor, your singing is always so beautiful. I'm just so thankful to have both of you guys at our synagogue. We got some events coming up, big one. The 6th annual fundraiser is going to be December 15th. So you can hear a lot more of Cantor singing, and she's going to have a special guest. Israeli Cantor, Magda Fishman, is going to be there as well. They're going to be delivering songs of resilience and hope. They're going to celebrate the strength and spirit of our community. It's going to be a truly uplifting evening and a chance to support our Temple Israel community. We're also going to be doing an honor for Maury and Lynn Sheffer. We're going to be giving them the Shofar Award. They've been a member of our synagogue since the late 70s, 40 plus years, and y'all all know how much they do for our synagogue. They're just the best. So definitely come out and support them. We're going to be honoring them as well. And want to give a big thanks to everyone on the committee who's really working hard, because we're trying to turn this into more of a fundraiser as opposed to a concert. And so it's a lot of work, and the shul really needs y'all's help. We're so thankful for all of y'all. We've also got an event coming up this Thursday with Wody. We're going to have a mixology event from 6:15 to 8:30. You're going to learn about Jewish people during the time of Prohibition, which is an interesting time to go back on. But we're going to be breaking Prohibition laws there. So we're going to experiment with mixology. They're going to be alcoholic and non-alcoholic. So if you don't drink, you can definitely still come. There's going to be heavy hors d'oeuvres to kind of pair in with the drinking too. So you can dress up in your 20s. You don't have to, but you can. It would be really fun. And then again, I want a big thanks to the Serban family. Thank y'all so much, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Let's turn back to page 5. We conclude our services with the words of Shalom Aleichem at the bottom of the page. Shabbat morning services tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m., including the bar mitzvah of Adam Serban.
Shalom Aleichem Malachei Sharet Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shalom Aleichem Malachei Asharet Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, 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 Boachem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay 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 Tzidchem L'Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.